Welcome back to another episode of
Just Weirdly Blended.
It is January 14th, 2022. I am Tom.
And I'm Jesse.
Welcome.
And welcome, guys. We're on a Friday, finally.
We're in the same room.
Yeah, it's been a few... God damn, it's been like a month or so.
I think it's been since
longer.
The holidays started.
Yeah, November.
I think even like Thanksgiving was on Saturdays or Sundays. So
Yep. Yeah, so no, we're back in studio. COVID was running its round through the house, I think. I think that's what was going on.
COVID seems to be running its round through everything. But
the wife was positive, like I said, last one. And then one of the kids, one of our oldest, she got sick. Mm-hmm. And she didn't test it or anything, but she's in a room all day.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's already isolated.
Self-isolating.
Yeah.
It's just a normal occurrence for her.
But, and that's okay. I tested because I started feeling kind of crappy. And so I tested and I was negative again. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that every household will be receiving 4 COVID rapid at-home tests.
Those work pretty. I mean, I don't know how accurate they are, but they work pretty well.
So I was talking to somebody at work today because, I work in the school, and that's kind of the primary thought on everybody's mind is when the fuck is this going to be over? And they were saying that when they took the at-home or like the rapid test, if you're positive, it showed up pretty much immediately. You'd have to wait for like the results of the test to come through. Yeah. But there's something on the strip, I guess, or on whatever.
So like when Alicia took it, what it was it'll show up like a pink mark.
Okay. Right? Like a pregnancy test.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Like,
so it'll show pink, and then all of a sudden, like when it's pink, you already know you're probably positive.
Gotcha.
If it shows up like instantly.
Yeah.
So that's what hers would do. And then it would show a blue line. So it's like, that's a positive test. If it just stays pink, I think it's like inaccurate or whatever they call it.
Earlier it hits, it's like, wow.
Okay. Oh yeah. Like when I would take it, she would be like, oh, I think there's a light pink, and then there would be nothing, and then it was just blue. Yeah. Solid blue. I was good.
So. Hers would be like pink.
Oh yeah, blue. Yeah, almost right away.
Is it a nasal swab or spit swab or
the nasal, like the Q-tip? Mm-hmm. It's like a Q-tip, but it's like,
is it the freaking like jam it in your nose?
It's about 7 inches.
And you're supposed to put it all the way in?
As far as you can go.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No. So, like, I had it up somewhere around here. I had it up there, dude.
Down my throat.
I know. Oh, oops. This is the wrong way. Wrong way.
Jesse, what are you doing?
That's why it was a negative.
That girl's amazing. She can do 2 at once.
I'm like, whoa. But no, yeah, you just shove it up your nose, and then you, like, swab around. Right, and then you
try
go
to sneeze.
Oh, dude, it's really tough. And then you go to the next nostril and do it for like 4. I think you do 4 times around each nostril, and then you put it in this like solution, and then you just like you stir it in there, and then you kind of let it sit for like a minute. I think it is.
Okay.
Right, and then when you get it out, you make sure you like as you're like pulling it out, you like rub the sides of the Q-tip to get the extra juices from the solution or whatever.
Okay.
And then you stick in your swab like you're doing a pH balance test or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you just leave it in there for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then if it shows, like I said, Alicia's, I mean, as soon as you put it in there, like a line was already showing. But if not, then it's just most likely, I think it's like if it doesn't show anything, You're probably
gonna be negative.
Yeah. Huh. So I was negative. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
Living that negative free COVID life. But yeah, like I could tell my body was fighting something. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I'm good, like
yeah.
I think I'm all right. So
hey, you tested. I mean,
that's all that counts.
You did the right thing. You did the right thing. And you know that you're clean.
Yeah, I'm vaccinated.
It's like a scarlet letter.
That's what how they're always saying like get vaccinated, this will be gone for life.
That's over.
But doesn't a virus like form like it's like, oh shit, I can't do what I used to, so I'm gonna like morph.
Yeah,
I'm gonna morph.
I think early on that first shutdown, like that first couple months, if we had done it
the right way,
right, which would have been very difficult to do. Let's be honest. If we're not Russia or China, it would have been really hard to do.
It would have been,
the countries where they would screw boards to your doors and lock you into your home and then shoot you if you came out, that worked pretty well. But if you were at a free society, it didn't really work.
Some of those countries were actually, there were some countries, they were like spraying their streets with like disinfectant.
Asia, shit. Yeah, I know.
I thought that was like a pretty fucking brilliant idea.
I don't know if it worked though. Remember, like they ended up finding that it really wasn't even on shit. It was more just like,
I bet you they had lower numbers than we did.
They did. China ended up with 0. Like last summer or last spring, they were down to 0. And then of course they opened up their borders and they all came back. But no, we're going to live with COVID forever. And I don't think it's even going to be seasonal. I think it's just going to be one of those things that runs through us. And I'm wondering now, and I don't know, I'm not a virologist, and I do believe in science myself, but so I've said this, like, if there's reason to be scared that we're going to have some other kind of mutation that makes it worse and more likely to kill people, I want to continue to be safe. I don't want to be like reckless. On the other hand, we know that Omicron is less dangerous.
Yep.
We know that people aren't dying in the hospital over it, at least not as likely to.
Yeah.
The people that want to get vaccinated are. The people that don't want to get vaccinated probably never will.
Yeah.
How long are we going to do this?
Forever.
And is it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you know what's funny is, so they let go of like nurses and stuff who didn't get vaccinated, right?
So yeah,
right. But now they're allowing nurses who are sick to
stay on because they don't have the staffing.
I wonder why they don't have the staffing.
Yeah. Oh, you're throwing up, honey? Well, the garbage can's over there. Now we got 3 sick.
Be like, yeah, can I get a different nurse? This nurse just puked on me.
How are you doing today?
Yeah,
I know. Be your nurse.
Here, can you sign this?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh, God. Oh, here you go.
I know.
No, I know.
Like,
we will have kids that have nothing going on, and they'll have to go home for 5 days because they are close contact and then they test positive. It's like, I mean, I don't want to spread it. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying I want disease to just spread, but it was commonplace for us to have a bad cold.
Oh,
and to go 100%. To work. You would have been looked at.
People used to go to work and with measles and shit back when they were around. If you
had a sore throat, I went to work one day, my first year at the school I work at now, with no voice as a teacher. I had to use the microphone and like whisper talk into it all day long. And
hello.
I went and I was fine. And I'm just looking at this. I'm like, okay, I want to be realistic. I don't want to be insensitive. There are probably still people out there that are, at risk and whatever. Yeah, and like, I get that. But something's got to give. Kids can't be out of school 5 days over and over and over.
So when kids are out of school, they're not like, okay, so you're out for 5, but you're going to remote learn those 5.
No.
I guess that'd be a big ass curriculum to come up with.
It's not feasible long term. And the fact of the matter is, depending on what the parents are going to do with the kid, they're either going to do it or they're not. It's not. It just isn't.
It's not forced.
It's not a long term solution. Kids need to be in school. It's that simple. And
well, what is it? You don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, and I don't want to see the education system eroded by people losing the idea that there's a need for it, like just deciding, I send my kid home all the time anyway, so I would rather just not deal with getting him ready in the morning and blah, blah, blah. You have to have it.
I think that's going to ruin like the kids like socially.
Well, I think a lot of parents are in tune to that. Last I read, none of the political parties are willing, by none, I mean, neither of the two are willing to, shut schools down. Like the idea of shutting schools down at this point is like off the table because all constituencies do not want that.
Well, if they were going to do that, they should have done it fucking 15 years ago.
Well, the ironic thing was they did it in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you just go by numbers, it is like catastrophic now compared to what it was. I mean, it's like running like wildfire through schools, right? Like the news is talking about it all the time. So the question is, do numbers matter or do hospitalizations and ICU?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even care anymore.
Well, and that's the thing is like
that sounds so fucked up.
But isn't that the big story? And correct me if I'm wrong. I want
some real news. I'm tired of the COVID news.
Well, I know, like we have to say this, right? Like with YouTube stuff, like I'm not a scientist. I'm not saying
we're not scientists.
I know. I'm just
We're an opinion piece.
I am.
This is our opinion.
My mind, and I'm asking questions. Is what I'm doing. I want to know: is it to the point where it's safe enough, and is virology wise, right? Like, is it one of those things? Can it survive so easily it doesn't need to mutate back to a more severe illness in order to spread? You know, I don't know. The only reason I asked that is I was watching a series on syphilis. Because that's what I do in my spare time. And they were talking about the historic origins of syphilis. Syphilis was something that you could catch much like the common cold. It had nothing to do with
babe. Were you cheating on me? No, I swear to God.
And then somebody
went to the
some
store
dirt somewhere.
That's how I got syphilis.
What they said was it got introduced to an area where either the
I thought syphilis wasn't even curable.
So syphilis is very curable now with penicillin.
Yeah.
But back in the
modern
day,
milk miracle there.
Modern milk, you know,
Mother's
penicillin.
milk.
But at the time, I mean, up until like the 1950s, there was no cure. And
can you imagine?
It destroyed
how crazy is that you would die from something?
And it was gross. I mean, like it eats your skin.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it makes you go nuts. It does horrible things to a person.
There were like famous people who died of syphilis.
Oh yeah. Al Capone had syphilis.
Yeah.
Well, there's
the rumor has it.
He wanted to get out of prison, so he pretended.
Oh yeah, I got the syph.
And one of his nephews was like, "Yeah, I saw that fucker by the pool. He was not crazy. Okay, that fucker was still running shit." No, I think he was a little nuts. I mean, you look at him; he looked a little, you know, but
he looked special.
Anyway, so the what had happened was there was what had happened is there was this area of the world where I don't remember if it was like colder. So it wasn't easy to spread that way or what the scenario was, but it couldn't spread.
It was Russia.
It was Russia. That had to be.
Or Siberia?
Probably Siberia. It was one of those Russian prisons.
Some tundra.
It was Mongolia where it became more severe because it had to find a way to survive. And so it morphed into one that was a hardier strand that did more damage. Yeah, it was the Reuter of the syphilis. And
the Reut Syph.
So my question is, if this is spreading so easily, does it need to get more dangerous in order to be more effective? And is it morphing towards the side of just becoming any old common illness? And I would love to have somebody that knows anything about this.
I know a guy. His name's Fauci.
There you go. Dr. Fauci, if you listen, if you're one of our 33 listeners, please.
He's number 33.
Let us know. I was listening to the podcast and I love it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How can we go off of one person?
Well,
he's like the voice.
He's the Institute of Health. He's the Institute of Health at the national level. I think what happened was you had Trump and you had Fauci, and that became a fictitious feud. So I think they both represent these like evils, if you will, of these two sides of COVID. I think it's really more our local people. It's like Washington State. It's Benton County Health District. My thing is, I want honest answers. Is this thing going to get worse if we don't continue to do this? I don't want that to happen. But on the flip side, if it's not going to, how much fucking longer do we have to do this crap? Because
I really think this is just the norm.
Yeah, I'm tired of the idea that we all are the experts and we all know everything. I don't, and I'm saying I don't, but I want to know more. If I need to be careful longer, I'll be careful longer.
How long?
When is this going to end? And when can our kids just be at school? If you're sick, wear a mask.
When can our kids be kids? Just if you're sick, you're fucking sick. Whatever.
Well, that's
go to Johnny's house. You know what?
Honestly,
you're gonna get syphilis anyway.
Stop fucking the dirt, kid. Damn it. I just think, yeah. I mean, when it comes to schools, this is going to be harder for schools than when we were just. And I'm not suggesting we shut down because I don't believe that is at all a solution. What I'm saying is this is going to be a lot harder to manage than it was when it was just a shutdown. If we're going to have kids revolving in and out of school for 5 days, 10 days. And then if you can get reinfected and it's 2 weeks later and the same kid's out again, or somebody else tests positive in their house and they have to do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, look at us just drinking away.
Long term, how do you manage it?
You just manage it. You little Jameson, you're good.
This is the thing. The doctor prescribed this medicine for me.
I just talked about this last week. They said for your throat, Jameson. Oh, well, they didn't say Jameson, but they said some whiskey with some lemon and some
We'll do some free plug for Jameson whiskey.
Jameson.
It'll get you drunk. No, it'll clear your sinuses.
But
yeah, if you have a cold, eat the Chinese mustard, right?
Fuck, some wasabi.
Some wasabi will do it. And then if you got a cold or something, just drink some whiskey.
I don't know. COVID thing, I'm kind of over it. Like I said,
I think
we talked off air. I like saying that.
I know,
even though we're like not live.
I mean, can we get one of those on air signs that anytime we flip it on, it just
let me put this on here on air.
We can put it right outside the room. It'd be nice.
I'll just put that on the
here.
green wall that
can
you guys will never
cigarettes
see.
And pretend like we're old school newsmen?
Oh God, can you imagine? That'd be crazy.
Cambodia got bombed tonight, and
that'd be so wild to be like the Mad Men.
Dude, it's so funny. I here we go. We're going to roll into the next thing. I've been watching the documentary Get Back, all about the Beatles producing the album Let It Be. Fascinating. If you love the Beatles, it's like 9 hours worth
I
of
love
footage.
the process of how a song's probably made. Like I said, I'm not none against the Beatles.
No, I know.
Phenomenal band.
No, it's not for you. I totally get that.
I don't know what it is about them.
Yeah.
It's just never been like a band I've been like, oh my God. The Monkees, though? No, I'm just playing.
The Monkees. Yeah.
I feel like they were such a Beatles ripoff.
No. They were wonderful in their own right. The only monkey song I know is Hey, Hey, We're the Monkees. But
so we were watching The Wedding Singer. And
good
movie. Yeah, Billy Joel, he has a cameo at the end. At least he's like, is that guy real? I'm like, yeah, that's really Billy Joel. You've never heard of his songs? I'm like, she's like, no, I don't think so.
Wait, Billy Idol, right?
Billy Idol, not Billy Joel.
Hey, little sister. Isn't that?
Yeah. That's Billy Idol.
How you know?
Yeah. So she never heard any of his music. I'm like, you had to.
No, it's a great day for a white wedding. She never.
So I played that one. She didn't. She's like,
she never heard that song.
She never heard it. She grew up. In Yakima, so I don't know. They were isolated. I'm just kidding.
It was country or mariachi.
It was mariachi music. But no, then I played Money. And I used to think it said money.
Oh.
And it's not.
What is
spelled
it?
Money. It's like Mony. Moni? I don't know. It could be the way it was just on YouTube or whatever.
Oops.
So I'm whatever.
A typo.
Yeah. A pretty big typo. But when she plays, she goes, "Oh, I've heard that song." I'm like, yeah. He has some pretty good hits, though.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the game Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it had some Billy Idol.
Probably did.
But the game itself, phenomenal game. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, what were we even talking about before I just threw out the Wedding Crasher thing?
Oh, that's fine. Wedding Crasher.
Oh, wedding singer.
I was talking about the Beatles. The Beatles Get Back.
Yeah,
How did we roll into that?
Because I talked about the Monkees.
We were talking about music,
and I like the process of the music.
Anyway,
the way you said it's how it's made. So the
whole thing is really, so for those of you that love the Beatles, that Let It Be is kind of where they started to have some tension.
Yeah.
Or at least publicly.
Well, that's because Yoko Ono ruined them.
To a point, but there was more going on. But Yoko didn't help. We got a lot of detail about
was she like, oh, you're gonna go hang out with them again?
No, she was actually if you really want to know, I'll tell you all. No,
I think like I said, I think some of this stuff's interesting. Just because I don't like their music, I like that whole process and that whole that stuff's kind of really cool.
Some of their most iconic songs, there were lots of them, but they were on the Let It Be album.
Mm-hmm.
And you start this out listening, and they're just like kind of jamming out, and you're just watching them. Half the time they're just like fucking around. Like they'll play some old school song that they all used to like, and then all of a sudden, like some new riff will come out. Somebody will play something, or the night before they were watching BBC and this show was on and made them think of something, and then they got this musical idea.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
I got an idea, guys. What if we sing Hey Hey with the Beatles? What do you think?
I know.
And so, yeah, I mean, like, you are watching, they had 2 weeks to produce this album. It was going to be performed live, and then it was going to become this huge thing.
How many songs are on that album?
Like, I think I want to say 12. I should know off the top of my head, but
I'm just saying. I mean,
do you think of 12 songs?
I'm saying enough? Like in 2 weeks, that's a lot of
6 songs a week, start to finish, full production, performed live in front of an audience, memorized, done, all the editing done, everything chosen, arrangements, all of that done in 2 weeks. So, right.
That's wild.
And that's not including weekends. Like, they might be screwing around on their own over the weekends, but they had 5 days and then 5 days of like recording. And
they were working extra and
and
after
at
hours
that point, it's just you watch. So they call it Get Back because one of the big focuses, at least to the point that I'm at, is focusing on that song Get Back. And it starts out as one idea, and then it like kind of stays on that note, but it just morphs over time. They're talking more. You start to hear, they don't even know the lyrics yet. And they're like, they
started sounding Hawaiian, like Hawaiian. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I love Hawaiian music.
Oh, I do too. That who was that guy? What the fuck was that guy?
The one,
the big heavy guy.
Oh yeah. I don't know his name.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh, dude. Beautiful voice.
He was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Anyway,
but it's so much fun. It's like 9 hours though or something. It's a ton of footage. They took, I forget how much they filmed, like over 100 hours.
When you think about it though, like some of these artists, like they might get a lot of shit or they might get like a lot of stuff, but some of these guys are pretty brilliant.
Well, just to hear, I mean,
I would love to like pick the brains of some of these people
seriously.
Just to see like how they. So like, even he's Eminem. He's a huge. Obviously, he's huge, right?
Yeah.
He's considered one of the greatest rappers,
right?
Lyrically, and I mean, I can't
say earned, I would say.
Oh, I think so. I mean, he gets a lot of hate from people because of his skin color,
appropriation, and all that idea,
and but like, dude, the stuff how he comes up with the stuff kind of like would trip me out, I think.
Sure.
But I heard this story from an artist who did a song with him, and he said Eminem, it was the craziest thing because Eminem would go into the studio at like 8 or 9, 12 o'clock hit, he went to lunch.
He was like very regimented that way. Like he had
5 o'clock hit, we're going home. Like that's how he worked. He didn't let them like. Even though he was really good at that's what he would say. This is a job. But he would like pretty much treat it that way. But because he was about his family, like.
Well, that is fascinating.
He keeps it to his family. He's still like he needed to make time for his family.
Well, and to be that good, to have an idea like that, right? To have a song, and maybe he can just hold it all there. I kind of get in the zone, and I can't stop.
Yeah. Well, there's certain rappers that are like that. I think Jay-Z, like everything he thinks, he doesn't write down. It's more like from his head. Right?
I've heard that he can just freestyle on a whim. At least he used to. I don't know.
The best freestyle that I've ever heard is his name's Harry Mack. I think I've talked about him before.
Played him for me before.
Yeah. He's the one that like he'll come give me 3 random words and he'll just freestyle or whatever. I don't know how these people
play some of his stuff, and I'm not a big rap guy. Like I I think it's kind of like the Beatles to you. Like the sound maybe resonates with you or it doesn't. But I do have a lot of respect for people being able to do rap. I don't.
I can do that.
I don't have the skill to fly out. And I teach rhymes, right?
Hey, I can't do that shit.
Like cat, bat, gat, chat.
I've grown up, listening to rap and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I'm 40 years old and I can't rap for shit. I won't ever say I can rap or make music. Like, but I love music. I love, there's, like I said, there's some Beatles songs that I do like.
Yeah.
And
I think
they're actually good.
Good music is good music. It's good music, right? It doesn't really matter the genre. It doesn't really matter if you personally love it or not. You can kind of recognize that there's something special about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or something unique. I've been getting into,
I like indie music.
Yeah, there's a song that I really like right now that sadly I didn't even realize wasn't new. I heard it on the radio all the time over summer. And I've been listening to a lot of like our local like rock station, 97 Rock. So when a song repeats a lot, I just assume it's a new song. It's I can't remember even the name of it. It's like Walk Around the Lake or something like that.
Okay.
And it's by I'll have to look it up. Anyway, it's a great song. Turns out it was released in 1994. Oh. I was looking at I was watching
like Alice in Chains.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. I was watching. It's not Alice in Chains. Let me see if I can find it. But
which I love Alice in Chains.
It's yes, they are good.
I love Alice in Chains, Disturbed. Like
these guys.
Actually, Tool's probably like one of my all-time favorite bands. Yeah. Tool in a Perfect Circle, Chevelle.
I gotta find it. So anyway, this song, I just really like the guitar riffs in it, and the what they do with the vocals and like the hook is really good. I can't speak.
I might have to check out that Beatles special. Like I said, I really like. I'm not the hugest Beatles fan. I'll always admit the fact that I'm not, but
it's the Toadies is the name of the band. The Toadies, and it's Possum Kingdom. And the song, look it up if you've never heard it. It's
what are they called? The Posies?
The Toadies,
like the Toadies,
like the frog and the
my
toad.
Posy.
It's the Posies, little Posy.
My Posy itches.
it's a Cardi B song.
Yeah, wet ass Posy
with my wet ass Posy.
Macaroni in a pot
with my wet ass Posy.
What does that mean? There is lyrics and songs in that
Macaroni
I'll never
in a pot, you know.
Yeah, there's
it's making a noise, Jesse.
I guess, but it's.
Haven't you ever heard the old lady's macaroni pot?
Wait, have you done that though? Who hasn't done that?
What?
Where you got the macaroni? You're just like,
oh yeah, try.
But when I think macaroni in a pot, I think little macaroni in a big ass pot.
Oh, so your visuals are off.
Yeah.
No.
I'm like, that's disgusting.
It's an auditory thing, not a visual.
Yeah. I get
Tons of little macaronis to make it stretch and be a full pot. You know?
Like
we're gonna stuff it full of macaronis. That's what it means.
Macaroni pot. That's a WAP. That's what it is. Macaroni in a pot. That's what. Like which
ass.
Yeah.
Posy.
What ass posy? Posy. Which would be a funny word for. Well, like what? This is your weenus. I was just listening to the Kid Crack show, and they were talking about
the weenus.
JC was saying like his kid got in trouble or something, or basically because he's been into the word the weenus.
Yeah,
and he said something to like the teacher. Do you want me to show you my weenus? Like,
shut your mouth, bitch! I'll grab your weenus.
The weenus. The kids always say that.
So
though,
Elena always let's hear this the right way. You used to like grab the weenus.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm like, kid, leave me alone.
They say if you're not paying attention, someone can like lick your weenus
and you won't feel it.
But I feel like that's not true.
I hear if you take a certain pill, your weenus will get bigger.
Because if someone licked my weenus, I'd feel that.
I have a question. If your weenus gets erect, do you weigh more?
Do you though?
I don't know.
And the answer is yes. Actually,
yes.
I gained a whole pound.
Saying,
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, did you test it?
No.
How? Now I need to do more research.
So one day, in the morning, I woke up, weighed myself. Shortly thereafter, I weighed myself again. I was a pound lighter.
After I made the delivery and the pound of cocaine was gone, right?
I know.
Later.
I had it wrapped around my weenus.
By the way, what's so funny is, you know how you said like, well, your question was, how does we talked about this a few weeks ago if you didn't hear it in the podcast.
Obviously it was as a joke.
Well, you were asking, this is the grower shower idea, like how big was this guy that he could wrap all these drugs around his penis? And then that was actually, I was listening to Bob and Tom in the morning, and that was their question.
Well, no,
like, how exactly were all these drugs there in the first place? Well, that's what I'm saying,
because like, come on. You know,
I don't know.
My wife wasn't too happy about that episode, right? But I'm not going to deny anything. But like, it's the truth. How? That's my question. Like, what? I mean, come on.
He had to have been
Unless they just balls and everything. Just
well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm imagining it's not quite what we're like envisioning, like the like I said, bomb vest strapped around
a lot of the
dick.
Stuff, like when the sociopath thing, like a lot of the questions, like for me, some can be very literal. I take them as I read them. I don't.
Sure.
I'm not very. What do they call that? Strategic in that sense, where I'm like
analytical.
Yeah, I'm not a very analytical person. I'm a. If it came to war, if it came to war, I'm on front line.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna be one of the first ones to go.
I'm munching some dick for this country.
They're gonna be like, he's an idiot. Let's get him out of here. Because I'm not analytical in that sense. Where I'm gonna overthink something.
See, I am definitely the opposite. I will overthink something.
Yeah,
almost to a fault.
I don't overanalyze things. I kind of just like,
yeah.
To make myself this way, fuck, I don't care. I don't care how that makes someone, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how I read them.
Nice. Actually, they do train military people for that.
I'm getting better at being very analytical, especially with my job. I have to be.
Sure.
And I'm not. And when I say I'm an idiot, I joke. I joke, people. I don't really feel that way, but like
believe in yourself.
Yeah. I believe in myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say some idiotic things, and that's who I am.
We all do. And you know what, Jesse?
I have potty of the mouth sometimes. That shit just comes out. Diarrhea of the mouth. That's what it is, right?
And
where
Jesse,
it just runs out.
We love you for it.
Yeah. Sometimes I might be being laughed at, but I'm not. I think they're laughing with me, not at me.
I just
when a majority of the time, I know they're laughing at me. So it's
whatever you laugh at me bounces off me and sticks to you.
Boom.
I heard that sometime.
Yeah. I'm rubber, you're glue.
Whatever you say.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
I'm glue and you're rubber. I stick on
what is it, Dr. Phil? What was that again? If you believe in your glue, you're rubber too.
You're full of glue and I'm a bunch of rubber.
I know. No, I don't know.
Dr. Phil. Oh, I saw something about Dr. Phil the other day. What was it?
He's a fake ass.
It was when I was looking up all the sociopath stuff and Dr. Phil popped up and I'm like, well, of course, a sociopath knows a sociopath.
Dr. Phil's, he got the high score. He's the one who came up with the test.
He's at least a narcissist.
You know what's funny? I didn't save this picture, but it had to do with serial killers, right?
Right.
Well,
another one of my favorite topics.
It was actually very interesting.
I'll bet.
It was their. Oh, I didn't save it. I'm so dumb. But anyway, it was basically their zodiac signs, and it was like Ted Bundy was a Gemini, and so you
not many Pisces and Aquarius in there.
Oh, you had a lot of Virgos, Geminis, and there was a couple Saggies coming.
Any Leos? Leos are big and bold, so probably not. Huh?
Never seen Leo. I thought I was going to see a Scorpio. Didn't see us in there, but we're very like we're going to bite your head off, and we'll.
You guys are probably the ones that get away with it.
Maybe that's it. We're analytical when we need to be.
That's definitely a sociopathic trait.
I'm just saying, when we need to be analytical.
We know how to play you. No, isn't that creepy, though? Like, I watch a lot of those
that is creepy, though.
Creepy shows. And, like, people that were meant to be victims that got away will, like, talk about it and say, like, he was super charming. He seemed like this really nice guy. And once he got me alone, his eyes changed.
His eyes turned black.
It was, they actually will say that they.
And in Supernatural, he's a demon.
I've had that thought.
That's what I always think.
Are these guys actually demons?
No, I swear to you. That's not because of Supernatural. That's just something
you stab them in the heart and they just burn or whatever.
Like, well, no, you have to have a special knife. That's whatever.
That's true.
Whatever. I'm not going to get into that.
Or shoot him with the right gun. Right?
Yeah. The Colt.
Those are, by the way, Colts are pretty cool.
That gun was cool. It was a little 6-shooter. I wouldn't mind a 6-shooter.
Yeah. Kapow, pow, pow, damn it, I'm out.
I'm going to go turkey hunting with a shit shooter.
A shit
shooter.
I'm turkey hunting with a shit shooter, man.
Did I tell you Bucket got me a turkey call for Christmas? Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm going to have to show you it.
Speaking of Bucket, when's he coming on?
I don't know. I'm going to text him. I texted him the other day.
We got to have him do a call in. That'd be really cool to try that out.
We were talking. Well, we didn't get into talking football, but I just sent him something about Peyton Manning was like mic'd up and he started yelling at his like center. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that he was mic'd up is the reason he was yelling.
Oh.
And so one of the players like, calm down. Like,
like,
no, we're good, man. We're good. He sits down and he looks over at another player and goes, hey, man, I'm mic'd up.
Yeah.
So I think
like he just realized it. No, he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. I think he was mic'd up, but he's Peyton Manning, so he's like he's a competitor. He's
kind of the alpha type.
He's gonna be fired up if a play doesn't go wrong. Like that's what you want your quarterback to do is like, hey, motherfucker. So Bucket did that, and then I just asked how he's doing. He's like, oh, I'm licking my wounds because the Colts almost made the playoffs,
but they lost, right?
Yeah, they lost to the Raiders. The Raiders.
Well,
I'm not a big Raiders fan.
No, Fred is. Fred loves it. My father-in-law
so I'll be okay with the Raiders.
Yeah,
I can't say I don't hate them because I used to have a big ass Raider coat. So.
Didn't everybody? Yeah, I remember when I was in elementary school around.
But I'm a Niners fan, obviously.
Yeah,
my titties show it.
I like the Seahawks. Honestly, the Seahawks trade Russell Wilson. I think I'm more of a Russell Wilson guy. I just like Russell.
I don't know. They might.
I had heard that there was talk about him being traded. I know Pete Carroll is coaching one more season, then he's out.
Yeah, Pete's he looks good for his age, but he
looks fucking good for his age.
He's almost 80.
You're right. I mean, he's an older gentleman, and
I think he's the oldest.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
NFL coach.
He's a vegan, which I am certainly not. I got to say, for you vegans out there that can really do it, they look good in their old age.
Maybe
I'm going to look like shit in my old age, but
I don't know.
That's another.
I don't know if that's because of vegan though.
I think it is though, because Paul McCartney's the same, man, and that guy.
Well, that's because it's not Paul McCartney. True. Rumor has it it's not. It's a clone. Conspiracy theory 101. Everyone knows.
McCartney. I'm a real human.
I actually just heard that conspiracy theory.
I heard that a while
and I was like, oh, that's a weird one.
Yeah. No, I heard that a while.
I'm not going to lie. I love me a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I do.
Is this really Paul?
I think not those conspiracies. There's certain conspiracy theories where I can.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't believe it, but it's like I can. There's got to be some truth to some of this.
Like all what do you call it?
Like aliens. I think there's truth to some of this shit. Mm-hmm. There's got to be. There's just too much evidence out there.
This is what
says
I think.
Otherwise.
Right. It's like a mathematical certainty, right? That aliens exist. The question is, have they been to Earth? That's the part that we...
Well, because there's stuff in history that points to certain things that it's almost like their sightings of what we do now, right? And so it's like, there's got to be something.
I think I told you before, I think I said it on the podcast, that my dad one time watched that thing. And
Ancient aliens.
It was like out of nowhere, like, there's aliens. I was like... Okay,
I think so.
History Channel said, Tom.
I want to see aliens. So before I die, I hope I see an alien.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not talking about illegal aliens.
I was going to say, what about Alien Gonzalez?
I have a cousin that's a legal alien, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I might actually.
We probably do.
I probably do have a cousin that's illegal, but I love him, so he's legal. No, but I wouldn't mind seeing an alien or a ghost. Ghost,
a nice ghost. I don't want to say a mean one.
Ziana was just talking before we came here that she was downstairs, and I swear the kids think our house is haunted. They don't say it, but the stuff they tell us, yeah. She's like, no, there was like something. I could hear a knock. I was the only one down there. Sadia was down there, but she was asleep.
Yes,
and it sounded like someone knocking. And Alicia's like, well, maybe Tim. Tim, our oldest, is a boyfriend. Maybe he was knocking or something. She's like, no, it was certain type of day, so it wasn't Tim.
Could have been like the heater or something.
Yeah, I was
there's a lot of reasons a house could knock.
So like if I run the hot water in our bedroom, right,
it'll knock.
In our kitchen, fucking stupid, in our bathroom, all of a sudden you'll hear the pipe knocking.
Yeah,
and I think that's what it was.
Probably.
Honestly, I think that's
most phenomenon can be explained. They're rational, but
have I gone downstairs using a spirit box? Yes. Thank you, Johnny. My buddy Johnny told me about this spirit box, and I was like, "Where'd you download it? Because I want to try it out."
Did you hear anything?
No. All you hear is.
He was trying to clear his throat. You didn't give him enough time.
When we went to Utah, we went to this like it's pretty much like what they consider a ghost town.
Yeah. Okay.
It was one of the first settlement towns in Utah, and which is crazy because it's like you drive into the middle of the desert, dude, and then all of a sudden there's this town, there's a church there, like you can actually go in these old houses. It's actually very cool. There's actually a cemetery there.
Is anybody there that like runs it, like a museum type thing, or you just walk randomly through these things?
Yep. Wow. There's a gate where like you're not allowed after, I'm guessing.
So they'll close it at night or something.
Close the gate, yeah. But there's a cemetery.
But people don't vandalize it? Sorry, I'm just
there's nothing really to vandalize though.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if they locked the door or nothing. The church you couldn't get in, so.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if you're gonna vandalize, you're going out your way. It's not just like driving 30 minutes to the city.
Let's drive 4 hours and spray paint the church.
We're gonna drive 4 hours in the middle of the desert. I don't think you're coming back. Honestly, you driving 4 hours in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
you ain't driving back. You're not coming out that desert.
Damn.
Because I'm not joking. There's like nothing in this. Wow. There's this town. I'll have to look it up later here in the podcast. I have pictures of it, but I used the spirit box to see if I could hear. Hey, is anybody here? Say uncle. I don't know.
Uncle.
But yeah, obviously, and Elena was with me, I think, and all we heard was,
somebody was.
No, all you hear is like static. That's my static.
I was going to say somebody was whacking off in the spirit world.
Go to the car. You can't hear this. What do they call it? Faping or fapping? Or something. The term
I don't even know.
But no, there was this the cemetery though, and it showed how these people who were buried there, how they passed away, and a lot of it was like sick, either like a weird ass sickness.
Yeah,
someone fucking fell off of that's what it looked like. Took out some of that town, was like a plague or some sickness.
So they all played Oregon
they all
Trail.
got syphilis and they died.
They all played Oregon Trail.
Yeah, they died of dysentery.
Yeah. Cholera? Did they die of cholera?
I can't remember. Like I said, I'll have to look at my old pics.
Yeah.
Because
they fell off the wagon. Dad shot him with a rifle. They got eaten by a bear.
Son. You ain't gonna make it back, son.
Oh hell! I didn't mean to shoot you.
All right. It was actually really cool.
Yeah.
I do have pictures of the cemetery. Let me see here. Here's part of the cemetery. Let me see if I can.
I wonder if we are able in the software to put them up here as we're talking about them.
I might be able to.
That'd be cool.
Oh, there we go. That looks a little. That's part of this.
That must be like a family plot back there or something, huh? That's got like the
mayor
around it. He the mayor.
He the mayor of.
He was the one mayor they had before they all died.
But yeah, I might be able to throw some of these up there. But like. That's a basement.
Damn, that is a steep stairwell. You'd have to climb that on your hands.
Dude. So the basements, those freak me out. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah. You got a feeling down there?
Oh, Grafton, Utah.
Grafton.
Yeah. Grafton, the people and places in Grafton, Utah.
Is there anybody that actually
It was in the
like
1900s. No, there's nothing out there.
Wow.
I wish I would have took a picture of how people died.
Yeah.
A little crazy, I guess, but yeah.
Could have been a little syphilis out there.
Maybe I'll try to do that. 42-minute mark. I'll put on syphilis. I'm just kidding.
Just pictures of syphilis in the back.
Like, oops, I was joking. Grafton, Utah. But no, it was pretty cool. It was really cool. So spirit box though. So yeah, one day I'm gonna see a ghost. And I'll probably fucking shit myself.
I know, right? Would it be funny to run into a ghost that had a speech impediment or like a what is it called?
What's going on? I'm Jesse the ghost.
You better leave this place. I will seriously haunt you.
They start singing Beatles song. I gotta get out of this place. Wait, is that the Beatles song?
She loves you, yeah. Get back to where you once belong.
Or like, what if they were stutterers?
Maybe that's, you know what?
That's what I'm wondering, if your spirit box caught a stutterer.
He was a stutterer.
Every time you get a ghost, they're
Joe
just
Biden.
stutterers. Not the thing.
You know,
the guy. Come on.
Let me see here. That's the spirit box.
Is that on in here?
I just printed it on my app. I still have it.
Dude, what if we got a spirit reading right now?
So you'd be like, hi, is anyone here? Oh, see? And then it'll give you the channel.
Okay. So it just flies through
like
airwaves,
frequencies.
huh?
Yeah. And then it'll like.
And then.
How about found a fucking ghost?
radio people will be like, different voices of humans will.
Yeah, I'm here. This is Eagle Claw 34. Oh, goddamn, this is a trucker.
This is Big Bertha.
This is Big John 69. I'm here.
Oh man, I
don't know where that was going either.
I don't know, but if you caught a ghost right there, I would have shit my pants.
Speaking of ghosts,
so crazy. Yeah,
Danny Tanner passed away. Rest in peace to Danny Tanner.
Wait a minute.
Or Bob Saget, I should say. Tom hit a button.
Oh, I'm glad though. I have the volume all the way down. We're on the wrong one.
Oh, see.
It's the news.
The news is over. It's over.
We don't want news.
He want the gunshots.
Yeah.
I'm glad I changed that back before he hit that.
What was that?
I had it at a different bank. But no, yeah, man, I was pretty shocked, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Danny Tanner, man.
Oh, yeah, goddamn.
So, yeah, no, Bob Saget out of nowhere, 65 years old.
Well, he had just finished a show like a couple hours before he passed away.
Was he at he was on tour?
Hotel? Yeah, he was at like a...
They said no drugs,
Ritz.
Right? No drugs involved. Nothing.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah. When you're blue, when you...
That's a creepy song.
It kind of is. But
it's a fucking creepy song.
It's very funny if you watch it.
I can't get over that it's creepy to me.
Yeah. Is it?
I think it's the beat and the tone of the song.
Well, it's the 20s. It's, come on, like
putting on the ribs. Putting on the ribs. Well, have you seen the way people dressed?
Oh, yeah.
Like for Halloween back in those days?
Oh.
Creepy as shit.
Yeah, seriously. Like a burlap sack with creepy ass painting on it.
Fuck, that scarecrow.
That was Halloween. Goes, here, Billy, we don't have money for a real costume, so here's a knife. Go stab one of the cows and then walk around with it.
And that's how Ted Bundy was created.
Right. It's okay, shit.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this kitty cat inside here.
This is a lot of fun, mama.
But no, man, rest in peace to... I was pretty shocked.
I'm so sorry, Bob, that we're joking around right now.
But he would like that, though.
TV fathers of our time, man.
He was. So I look at two people that were like TV dads, right? Philip Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? He was like a TV dad.
Yeah.
He was like... But he was that dad that like... If I had it, I have a dad, but like if I grew up with my dad, like that's the dad I'd want. Like that dude was like full of wisdom and shit. And Danny Tanner was the same way though.
He was. Yeah.
He solved problems in fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Less than that.
And those
last
talks,
3 minutes.
Man, whether it was him or Uncle Joey or Uncle Jesse, man.
I'm kind of like Uncle Jesse in a way.
Yeah. Well, you're Jesse.
Well, that and
I feel
the kids always try to touch my hair. I was tying JJ's shoes and he'll try to touch my hair. I'm like,
yeah. I like to think that if I ever lost my wife, you would move into the house and help me raise the kids.
I would. I obviously I would have to be single myself.
If a lot of shit went wrong in our lives, I like to think we'd end up together raising the kids.
God, they would think.
I knew it. To find a guy named Joey.
I knew it. I knew this guy would do it.
Nothing's wrong with this. I don't know.
They'd be like, I knew Tom and Jesse. I knew those guys. I knew they were together.
San Francisco, 3 guys. I think that's been said before, but
probably.
Oh, anyway. And then, of course, the grandpa of America, Dr. Huxtable, Cliff Huxtable. Do you remember Cliff Huxtable?
Oh, Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby.
I don't know if he'd be what my grandpa.
I think he's the disowned father of America.
He is. He's like, you know what? You want me?
Man.
Well, fuck you. I'm on.
Is he still out of prison, or did they put him back? I know that they were fighting his release, but
I think this is my beef with prison.
Mm-hmm. What's the
point? I don't believe in prison. I believe killers should be set free. No, I'm just playing. But someone who's like fucking 80 or 90,
that's blind as shit.
That's a waste.
Isn't he in his own prison?
Yeah. And I mean, that's a waste of your tax money.
Safe in there. Do you know how much money they probably have to spend just to keep him?
You're telling me this guy ain't rich off of Jello?
Who's gonna really kill Bill Cosby? Do you get a lot of like cred in prison for killing Bill Cosby?
I'm sure you get some kind of credit if he's like a. Well, no, he wasn't a child molester though, was he?
No, he was
a date raper.
He was a date raper. Yeah,
yeah, right.
Pretty prolific. It sounds like at least a few times.
A lot of people came out. I was pretty shocked. I won't lie because I love the Cosby Show.
I mean, come on, the Cosbys.
I grew up on the Cosby Show.
Bill Cosby wearing that sweater.
Yeah,
that dance that he did,
dude. I don't know.
And then you're thinking,
that's a show like for me. Like I grew up.
Oh yeah, I grew up in those times. That show. Like, whenever it was on, Nick at Night.
Dude, I watched it before it was on Nick at Night. See, that's how old I am. But no, I love that show. But yeah, when I found out, I was kind of like heartbroken. Yeah. You know, like, damn, dude, that's a punch in the gut.
Right.
But yeah, dude, Danny Tanner, I was pretty shocked. I was like just on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then Jason Momoa and his wife split up.
Oh, really?
After like 16 years. Yeah. Lisa Bonet.
What was the reason for that?
Lisa Bonet was also on The Cosby Show. She was the oldest sister.
Minute. They were married?
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good couple. Everyone thought these people would be together.
I'll be damned. How I didn't know this normal.
But yeah, Alicia, it's funny. Alicia, she's like, oh, so he's single now? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I love that our wives think that Jason Momoa.
I know. So I tagged Alicia in this post where it's just like, it says, "Oh, Jason Momoa is single," and then underneath it shows Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance,
dude? Did you ever watch the second of those movies?
Oh yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my god,
when they were younger, or
no, the one when they were older. Like it was the actual cast. Yeah, and they came back.
It was still pretty funny.
When they're
actually
on the couch and he calls him and he's like, "Oh my god, I got to take this. It's my dead dad."
I should use that at work.
Oh, I love that. I gotta tell you,
dude. Speaking of work, that's what I was gonna bring up. As I've told you guys, I have notes. You can't see them from here because the lights are pretty bright.
Very bright.
Yeah. It looks like a blank piece of paper, actually.
But there's notes on there.
But it says workish stuff, and in parentheses, maybe. I read that and I was like,
"What the fuck,
Tom? I have no idea what the fuck I meant." But now I kind of remember.
Okay. All right.
So during my meeting, I started getting, dude, I got pretty riled up.
Really?
So my team, we do a lot of shit for everyone. And so I got an email, and Alicia's seen how upset I was, like from someone like, my team's busy, and we need this and that, and like your team needs to do this. And I was like, what the fuck? Like my team's, if not busier than your team, you know, we
as busy.
Yeah, just as busy, if not as busier. Because like next to the help desk, we get the second most tickets. Right, the help desk gets everything, and then they sprinkle it down
to you.
Yeah, so it goes from help desk, but a lot of the other sprinklies come to my team.
Yeah,
and then the team that was saying they're so busy sprinkles shit on my team too. Right. And so I started getting mad because this team, like, they'll CC their boss in everything, right? Very, I don't care, but like it can be annoying.
Well, and especially when it feels like a power play, like they're trying to take any kind of.
Well, that and like, so there'll be times where there's been times where I just emailed the person like, "Hey, well, this and this and this." So what do? Next email. CC their boss and like 15 people. I'm like, well, what's the point of that? I don't ever say anything.
So try to intimidate you into backing.
Maybe I don't know what it was, or just have proof. So I told my team, like, no, fuck this. Like, anytime you guys email anybody, CC me on it. Like, CC like me every fucking time, because this is bullshit. Like, you guys are just as fucking busy. This is crap. My team was like, my buddy Johnny was like, dude, you were pretty fired up. That was pretty cool.
Kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, he was like that kind of lit me, like kind of pumped me up. Like I'm like, no, it's tiring. Like
it's like petty.
I can only take so much, and like after a while, I was just like, dude. So yeah, so I got pretty fired up, and that's what the workish thing was, just because of thing. I mean, I don't know if working from home it does it, but as we just talked about, my patience is not what it used to be.
Yeah. I think that happens.
As I heard in a song, I'm not a doctor, so I don't have patience.
Yeah, this is true. I have patience, but yeah, mine were wearing thin this week. It was a rough week.
I guess it happens.
My class lost a lot of privileges this week, so we're kind of back to square one, and they can earn everything back. That's kind of where I'm.
Well, I think a good lesson for kids is that, you know, like, hey, you know what? You guys had something here, and this kind of makes them realize, like, oh shit, you know, like we fucked up.
Well, to let them know.
What are you gonna do if a kid come up to you like, man, Mr. Parham, I know I fucked up? You'd be like, for one, you're on detention. You're only in first grade. Don't talk that way.
How dare you fucking say that?
But on the side note, dab you up, because that was pretty nice that you owned up to that shit.
See, I'm kind of beyond the I owned up to it. I'm like, you've had 500 chances to own up to it. Now it's like, no, you're going to suffer the consequences for a while until I know for sure that you get it and I don't have to deal with this.
And I think that's a lesson kids growing up, first grade all the way
through. And
all the way.
There's a lot of adults that could actually learn these lessons.
I think one of the hardest things to do is own up. Like you're going to fuck up, you're going to screw up, and you're going to do something stupid. Yeah. And it's just, that's life. I don't care if you're 6 or 60, you're going to fuck up at some point in your life.
But there are an awful lot of grown ass adults that behave like 6-year-olds.
You need to, when you do fuck up, own up to that. Yep. And I think that's what our society is missing is a lot of times
right now it really is.
No one's owning up to the fact that, you know what, I kind of fucked up. You know what, I'm fucking up, or I'm not doing something right.
It's like there's excuses for everything now. Like there's no real accountability for anything.
Sometimes you gotta be accountable. Sometimes it's just that's how it is.
Well, sometimes you can forgive and you can move on. Like it's not like there's never room for that. But
well, with my team, right? I think I've come to the point where, although I was pretty fired up for them, I'm also like upset with them about our inventory, which is huge. And it makes, like right now, I do this allocation report every year around this time. And it's like, it takes up a bulk of my time. I have to go through every computer in our company and I have to like say, okay, this one is at this site. This one's at this site. But then when I have like, typically site A has 50 computers, but for whatever reason, site A shown it has 150 computers. Well, where did this 100 computers go? Right. Like where did these come from?
Right.
So when inventory's jacked up, now I'm like,
because now you have to reconcile everything and figure out where
it is and is it retired? Is it actually in use?
Right.
So like I kind of got on my team about that. Like, no, you guys need to like, I was pretty fired up about that too the other day. Like
if you move something, report it,
because it's making. You know what? It makes my job hard.
Yeah.
I can't complain because I work from home, but at the same time, it's going to make your guys' job just as fucking hard.
Right.
Because now I got to give you work now.
Right.
I gave you additional work when I tell you guys through the year, like inventory through the year. You go work on a computer, inventory that computer. When you do this, just slowly do it. Right. By the end of the year, you should be done, right?
Right.
It didn't happen, so. Woo. So I'm like, man, I got to start holding motherfuckers accountable.
Are you working on that now?
Oh, yeah.
Is this reconcile season?
Yeah, it's been a busy, so I didn't do any of those YouTube shorts like I normally do.
Yeah.
Wow. One, the sound was a little iffy, and so I didn't really like it.
Right.
But it was just kind of busy, and so I just didn't have it in me this week. I actually wrote some down, some clips that I was going to do, but then I don't know. See, I have some right here.
Okay.
But then I was just like, fuck it, like, you know what, just let's focus on work, don't worry about this right now. I think we'll be all right, but you know what, I don't think it's gonna hurt us. I think we're still gonna
I think, you know what,
where the blend is going up, and I know it is, and I'm just gonna believe that.
Well, actually, it's on a steady ride right now, I think. And if I look at the numbers, like, they decline throughout the week, of course, because we only release one main episode a week, but every week it's like a steady.
Yeah, for sure.
We get a few more here, a few more there, and hey, I'm happy with it.
So I had mentioned charter in our last podcast.
Charter College.
And it's funny because I asked someone I worked with at Charter, like, hey, is it cool if because I was thinking about using one of the clips, because people give Charter a bad name, and, I get it. So I was just like, is it cool if I use this clip because I want to, like, promote it in a way, because, it like helped me, so I don't have nothing wrong with, like, promoting it. It could be spendy, but it could also help underprivileged people like myself at the time, So they were like, yeah. But you think it'd be cool if we interviewed you? So I'm like, yeah. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna see if I can.
They want to interview you?
Yeah, because I used to be a student there, and I was a staff member there, so I I know
Dude,
I know the program pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do that and see if I can plug this with that I've started this podcast, and why we started this. I can't say I because it wasn't I, it was us.
All right, you can say I, we, whatever.
You know what I mean.
I know.
You know what I mean.
I know what I mean. I'm not gonna get butthurt.
He's like, oh man, fuck. You know what Jesse said the other day? Fuck him. Fuck that motherfucker. You remember the Beatles? Yeah. You remember Just Weirdly Blended?
You're gonna like the Beatles now, goddammit.
Yeah. Yoko Ono split them up too.
Damn it.
She's just a raunchy bitch.
Man. But no, there is a really fun clip where she's like screaming music and they're just like jamming and like, whoa. Fun lady.
So did she get invited to some of their jam sessions?
So, all right. It wasn't just Yoko. Like Linda, who was Paul's wife at the time, she was also there. And there was really no issue in the studio involving them. Really, a lot of the beef was between George Harrison and Paul McCartney. Paul was kind of the lead on this album. He was very invested in it, and he felt I think he felt most of the pressure.
Yeah.
So he had real hard ideas on what he wanted out of certain songs. So he was really kind of taking the lead, and he would tell other, musicians, like, especially if it were his song, like, I want you to stop doing this, or I want you to try it this way.
Yeah.
That.
Use the E note, not the S note.
Yeah. I mean, like, he would actually say, like, no, I don't want to go that way. Try like an F sharp here. Try, go from the A to the D, do whatever. And so George Harrison, in his own right, is a great guitarist, and he does. Paul was the bass guitarist, and George did the. I can't think of the fucking word. It's not the rhythm guitar. He does. He does like the plucking. He does like rhythms, just the strumming,
like acoustic.
He did. He played electric, but it's
not the acoustic, right?
I'll think of the fucking
banjo
word later. It's the easiest word. It's he played a regular electric guitar.
Yeah.
But he would do more your plucking style. Yeah. So he got more of like that kind of stuff.
The cool sound.
Yeah. And so like when you're rhythm, you're playing the basic chords for the most part. So George would be listening to like what he's doing and try to kind of like free ball it there to figure out how to go with it. Well, he would get a lot of like criticism or like
he didn't like that.
And and I can see both sides, and that was kind of the nice thing about like watching this whole thing unfold. Yoko really had nothing to do with that. But you do hear a conversation. So John Lennon and Paul McCartney went to lunch together in the studio where they were working, and they had wired up the flower pot. It was almost like a CIA operation.
Hey, fuck.
They put a wire in the flower pot on the table, and they recorded the whole conversation.
Here's your drink.
Yeah, and they didn't know it. Well, you can hear this entire conversation. Yeah. So in the morning, after that first week of recording and filming, there was a lot of tension, especially between Paul and George. So Ringo had everybody over to his house on that Sunday morning, and they all were supposed to meet. And Linda, Paul's wife, came, and Yoko, John's wife, came, or girlfriend, I think at the time, came. And because John was always very kind of like just kind of stayed out of it, and John had always kind of been the lead in the band. And so at this point, Paul was kind of taking that point, and John really didn't, like, you would see George and him kind of going into it and getting into it and just like hashing it out, but like also kind of arguing and not seeing eye to eye. And John would just kind of stay back or like throw a joke out to try to lighten the mood. He wasn't.
Sounds like something I would do.
Well, apparently at this meeting where they weren't playing, where everyone was just like having a little like get together, like, let's talk this shit out.
Let's get on the same page.
Yoko got very defensive of John, and either said like, you're making John feel really weird because he loves you both and he's watching this and it just is painful for him, or he was saying one was right or one was wrong. Whatever it was, she did get into it there. And then there was kind of an issue with that because
like, who's this bitch?
Well, it's kind of like the idea of like, we've done this for years together. Like, let us work this out. Now it's a bigger issue because now John's involved in this. So it's kind of fun now though, because you watch them like kind of meander in that Monday morning, like the day after this shit's gone down. And you get to watch those dynamics play out. You get to hear this conversation where John and Paul are back and forthing this, and John's trying to make Paul kind of see George's side, but then Paul has a point too, and you can kind of hear that point. It's just as a human experiment of the whole thing. It's pretty interesting, sounds like. And of these brilliant musicians working together, it's just fascinating to see how it all comes together.
I don't know. I think there comes a point too where, I don't know, as a musician myself, I'm a mean radio player. But no, like if I was in that musician in that sense, I guess. It to me seems weird, and obviously I haven't seen this special, so I can't have a whole say, obviously, but to bring your like spouse or someone into that's like bringing Blanca to work for you, right, and then all of a sudden like your boss or someone you work with says something that maybe does make you feel weird, but instead of you speaking up, she speaks up for you,
right?
That
and it's kind of a weird
to me. That seems like weird. Like,
I don't think.
How about you stay out of that? We've been together for 20 plus, all these years.
That's where Yoko got this bad rap, and I think that's where all the everyone. It was kind of easy to blame Yoko, and honestly,
you got a scapegoat, but
I don't.
This looks like it's something that was coming already.
I don't think she helped, but I think like I've heard other. I've watched a lot of other footage where all of them after the fact had said like, at the time I didn't feel good about myself, or I didn't feel good about what I was producing musically. Like Ringo had concerns that he just didn't feel like he was like a good drummer anymore. John had a feeling like he wasn't his best. Like everyone, they just grew. Like I think it was, you have these 4 guys that are buzzing around the world doing all this stuff.
Weren't they like teenagers when they started?
They were young.
Yeah.
And they started playing in Germany. And
clubs. I mean, they like, and then
you
grow as a person.
Yeah. And so
you're going to find your own sound, I think, eventually.
Paul had kids. John was having kids. Like, George was in a relationship, or at least was
a little slut. I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean? Like, they were
probably so slutty though.
In their day,
I'm just saying.
I mean, how easy would it have been? Like,
they're the Beatles.
People were literally passing out.
Come on, they're probably getting panties thrown at their fucking on the stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it's rock.
So.
That's great. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to ruin their image to you.
Oh no, come on, please. They definitely had fun, and I know
I'm sure
John definitely played with the drugs, and many of them did. But it's just
John Lennon wore the little round glasses.
Yeah, he was the round glasses one, the long hair.
He's the one who, that's sad how he got killed.
Yeah, 1980 got shot.
Yeah, that's so.
Yep.
I don't know. I'll never understand because it was a fan, right?
Yeah, it was a really bizarre story. He was mentally ill, and I think he was the one. He had read Catcher in the Rye, and somehow he got from that book
to kill John Lennon.
I think it was him. There's other people that it may have been, but I'm pretty sure it was him. He read it, and it somehow told him to kill John Lennon. So mental health. John Lennon was walking back to his apartment. And he left his apartment, and he had seen this guy on the sidewalk. And I think the guy asked for an autograph, and John gave it to him. And then he left. And the guy was there when he came back. And as he's walking in, the guy yells, "John!" And John turned around, and he shot him in the head.
How crazy.
And that was it. Yeah.
Well, that just like the whole Selena thing, right?
Yeah.
Her supposedly like a fan, but like someone who worked with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. That trips me out to think like how people can be.
Yeah. Well, and the sad thing is, I mean, when you have musical genius or any genius and it gets snuffed out like that so early, how much more could we have gotten out of any of those performers, out of anyone that died in the plane wreck, or like,
who's still around? That was the Beatles.
Ringo and Paul are still around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have 2. George passed away in 2001 of lung cancer. And John was assassinated. Yeah. George had a whole record career after the Beatles. Okay. Paul's had a recording career. Yeah. Ringo's had his own career. So they all, and John. And,
he had a killer Christmas.
Yeah.
We talked about that already.
Yeah, okay.
Paul McCartney's Christmas album.
Yes. That's one of his. Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas.
He's fucking having one.
Yeah,
that's crazy though.
It just that's really, to me, very sad. And he was dead before I was ever born, so it was just kind of like.
Well, I mean, you said 80,
1980. Yeah.
So I was born in 80.
So there you go. You're probably
October was when I was born.
It was cold, so it was summer. It was a cold night.
It was a cold sock night.
Well, let's find
cool out. White moon. 1G was on the streets trying to consume. So while you look that up, I heard some ASMR, And you know, I didn't understand this when we did our little funny little bit about ASMR and like ruffling the papers. Why do they whisper? Like, I'm gonna click this pen and I'm gonna stick it in your butt, and here we go. And
you're gonna have to explain to me what we're talking about.
No. I just went to ASMR. I'm saying while you were looking that up,
what's ASMR?
ASMR, you know, like where you hear the sounds.
Oh,
you know, you hear people crunch. We just did a whole thing on it.
You're right,
bro.
I know that people do it. I just didn't know it was called ASMR.
Weed? No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding. He doesn't do that. People.
No, I know that. No, I eat it. No.
No, but ASMR, the little auditory sensors or whatever.
I'm very familiar with the concept. I just don't know enough about it to realize.
I don't know. I just know like it's the sound.
If you whisper it doesn't get in the way of the sensation.
And then it's like, you know, people clipping their nails. I don't know what the fuck. It's everything, really.
This is the dropping glasses.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Right.
Drops.
I'll censor you so good.
But I was like...
Shuffling papers.
I never understood why people whispered. I didn't understand that until the other day. Well, I still don't understand it, but like this girl just all of a sudden she's looking at the camera and she's like, I'm going to click this. I'm like, why the fuck are you whispering? Can you stop? I'm going to. Oh, God. Macaroni in a pot. That's a... You know what? Is there an ASMR of macaroni in the pot? But the literal macaroni in a pot, and you just hear.
What about just one like dry macaroni? Ding, ding,
back and forth. Ring, ring, ring. My dumbass. Thinking it's a whole fucking. Like, what do you mean a piece of macaroni?
Manicotti? What is it?
Jesus Christ!
How loose is this woman?
Holy smokes!
So is that what you always thought? She meant like
I literally was like, I never really understood the concept. I'm like, fucking macaroni.
Because you've heard more like the liquidy macaroni.
Yeah, but
it makes that.
Yeah, I get it now, but it still sounds like that'd be that'd be nasty, really, because it sounds like it's like.
She's just very
cheesy. It's the cheesiest.
She's into food.
Sounds very thick.
Hey, she's a open-minded lady.
I don't know. No, I have a friend that is a big fan of like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're very sexually liberated women. I guess I get it. But you know, I'm not a big fan. I don't know.
I do.
I get it, but
I don't mean to sound like an old man, but there is kind of a point. Like, aren't certain things not meant to be super public? Like, I kind of feel like we're in a trend now of like, let's just see how far we can push it. I feel like that's going to kind of go back where it's like,
but you can't really push it these days.
Well, see,
I feel like actually
it's so pushed. I think you push it by not exposing so much. Like, you know, like have you noticed that TV doesn't do as much sex scene stuff as they used to? Like, it used to be like if you were in a show where they were like HBO, you're going to see titties everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I think they kind of like
Skinamax.
Yeah,
like
what they used to call it. They pushed it to the point that like now everyone knows that they're going to see it. It's not exciting anymore.
Like I want to see everything.
So I think they've really.
I'm just kidding.
I want the macaroni.
I want to hear that macaroni in a pot.
I think they've just maybe gotten to the. I mean, I know that there's sex and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like it used to be like sex to the point.
I'm just thinking about the macaroni in a pot. How did I never fucking get that?
Well,
I'm literally thinking of macaroni in a fucking you're boiling noodles in a goddamn pot.
Okay.
Like, that is retarded.
Is it the way that they come to the surface and then recede again?
God damn.
Oh, yeah, but
I hope you guys never need me to save America. Ain't happening.
We're gonna do it with macaroni, damn it.
I'm going to water plants with Gatorade.
I love the way you said it. This is a big pot. This is little macaroni.
That's it.
Not interesting.
No, I just thought the concept.
This is a spaghetti noodle.
I think the whole, like, I don't know, the bar, what they call it, just never resonated with me in that sense where it's just like, I don't know. I just never got it in that sense. I'm like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, I got it.
There's got to be better like analogy for that, right?
Trying to think of one.
I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty good, but
it's all right.
kind of a gross. I have a hard time not seeing Kraft.
I don't know. It makes sense. Now you say like, obviously it makes sense.
Yeah. But no, I think,
and then it was it water in a bucket or bucket and a mop or some shit. There was a mop in a bucket or one of the other words. I'm like, that's retarded too. Which I get that concept, obviously.
Wet.
Right? Yes, I got that. Yeah. But I was just like,
yeah,
I don't know. That whole concept just was retarded.
I think, well, and really, I mean, the imagery.
Maybe because I'm so stupid that
maybe the idea is to make dirty imagery. Because dirty, if you're sexual dirty versus like, because I see macaroni as a very dirty food. Like it leaves a lot of residue behind.
I love it. Especially in a pot.
A mop, you're cleaning up dirty things. So maybe she's purposely using dirty imagery.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
To accentuate and tintillate.
Right.
But I did watch the
toilet bowl in a mop.
Yeah. Toilet bowl scrubber with this wet ass pussy.
I know.
Little shit residue with this
wet ass booty. I don't know. That's funny. So what did you find out from Goobs?
Oh shoot, yeah, I was gonna say you were alive for a good 2 months while John Lennon was still walking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was shot December 8th, 1980.
Oh man, rest in peace.
Seriously, what a bunch of shit.
That sucks though. It's sad when that happens.
What the hell?
You know what I mean? And screw Yoko Ono for butting in. Jesus
and the
Christ.
guy that killed him, man, looks like freaking.
And she can't sing for shit.
It was fun listening to her scream and they're playing along like fun. And listen, I recorded myself singing last night just to hear it. Not.
You know what? As the person I am, sometimes if I heard something like that and I'm like trying to be in a serious moment, it would have probably taken a lot out of me for not to like I won't say anything, but you would have seen one of these.
Yeah, right. Like
the facial expression would have been hard to hide. Yeah. Like I would have been like,
oh, they were acting really nice.
My eyes would have got big.
They were like flat out jamming while she's screaming. I'm like, yeah, no, but she was very free. Like Yoko Ono was an artist. That's what attracted John to her.
Yeah, which I understand.
Had an art exhibit.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I was going to say she was actually very artistic,
new age arty. Yeah, and he was very musically artistic, and they were both very anti the war and anti.
They were hippies, bro.
They're super hippies.
That's it.
They would have been storming the Capitol.
They would have. They would have been there. They hated Trump. I'm sure.
So I mean, it's like
they would have hated Trump.
Just were those folks.
They would have been all for.
I want to know what more
defunding the police and everything.
Real hippies are these days. So it seems like there's such a mix of both, right?
I think I don't know.
They hated the government, and that's kind of like the modern day Trumper. They're like kind of anti-government, anti-establishment, right?
But then you got these people who want to defund the police,
right? And that matches more the old hippie, But
I'll still never understand the whole defund the police.
Well, most communities that have done it have learned that there's not much logic there. But
I seen something where it's like defund the police, something about community.
Yeah, community resources in a sense.
Make community handle it, and it's like,
I actually agree with the idea
to a point.
If you're going to fund it and if it means something. So look, what we say is like we want more mental health.
I get
professionals
that.
On scene.
But if you say you don't have police, right, and someone breaks in your house or something crazy, like who the fuck are you going to call?
And here's the deal too. You know what a professional health expert's going to do if they walk up on a crazy person with a knife? And I'm sorry to use that term, but in the reality of dealing with it, it is a very dangerous person with a dangerous weapon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're going to call the police and say, this isn't safe for me to deal with it this time. This person's in crisis and I'm not going to die.
You're the community person.
And it's going to be
up to you. Thank you.
On the police to handle it. I mean, I am not saying I want people in danger, but...
And I can't say anything about this defund the police. Like I said, I don't know. I just seen something. I guess it's something I got to look into. But say that the whole defund the police was what it was, right? It would still be up to that person, right? That health person to like she or he wouldn't have. Oh, I can't call the cops. I am the cop, and
that will never happen. It's always gonna. The laws will never put the responsibility on that person. The law will always still hold the police officer accountable.
Please don't stab me.
Well, okay.
I won't shoot you. I don't have anything. Obviously, you can see.
And that's the thing is, like, I get we don't want to just go to shooting people,
and we don't. I don't agree, and I don't condone any of that stuff. Like, that's terrible.
I'm not saying that we can't learn better ways. I'm not saying that we can't police maybe with a little more compassion. But at the end of the day, people that pose a risk to the greater society, need to be dealt with one way or another. And I don't think the rest of society has to walk around in fear.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. Like a crazy person with a knife, a mentally ill person, I should say, with a knife is just as dangerous as an angry person with a knife.
Oh, for sure.
If someone's coming at someone with the intent of stabbing them,
if you're angry, you're not in the right state of mind.
For example, there was, I think I mentioned it, that teenage girl that was going to stab someone, another teenage girl. She was going to do it. She was actively on the way, knife up in the air like this, feet away from this other girl. And everyone was irate that they could have shot the knife out of her hand. They could They could have shot her in the leg.
John Wicker.
You don't do that. It just does not work. And people need to really educate themselves on
I get
why.
that this torso is easy. I don't know, man. I feel like a leg is okay, like a thigh.
Can you just take a leg out? And then she falls into the person with the knife.
Hey, at least I shot her in the leg.
At least she tripped.
Cops responsible for 2 deaths.
They would. I guarantee you they could have won a lawsuit if that had happened. And the girl
he shot her in the leg and then she fell. If you would have shot her in the head, in the torso, or in the knife.
Well, and they're doing away with qualified immunity, which I truly understand for cops that are guilty of a crime.
If the cop would have had a shotgun, he could have shot that out of her hand.
With the entire hand.
I know.
No, they're not even really allowed to use the shotguns anymore. No, this is the sad truth.
Yeah, no, I know.
They can't even use the shotguns. They can barely use any of the weapons they have. And some of it makes sense. But people really need to educate themselves. And I used to be an anti-gun person. I used to be more of like a lefty thinking person. And I understand the thought process.
Dude has 3 safes of guns.
And I do because of...
Yeah.
But
he doesn't.
No, I don't actually. But it's just one of those things, like if you learn about certain aspects and you kind of put aside your assumptions of things on either side of a political spectrum, there's bullshit on both sides. And the reality is some of the things that we look at is like military grade weaponry that the police have.
Yeah.
By and large, they don't really have it. I mean, the rifles that my brother has at work is a 9mm pistol in a long arm body. It does not
so it's like an AR?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. It's a 9mm rifle. It is
what an AR is.
The same as your pistol. It's just a little more accurate. It has no more power. And there's a lot of arguments that people will make, but if you do the research, you'll find out it's nothing like what criminals can own.
Oh, dude.
I mean, truly, they are.
This is my thing.
I don't know.
Chicago's very anti-gun, but it's very high crimed.
Right.
A lot of shootings, a lot of killings.
Yeah.
People are going to get them. They're going to get them, obviously.
I watched a documentary where people in Mexico were making guns in the mountains.
It's Mexico, bro.
And they were good guns.
Oh,
they were copies. They were frauds, but they worked. And
Smith and Wesson.
So I'm not laughing.
I'm laughing because I own one. It was a good gun. No,
yeah. I do have a Glock. I'm going to shout out for Glock.
I wouldn't mind a Glock. What is it? Alicia's sister, and she's legal. She, legally can carry it. It's called a Hellfire.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 9mm. Very nice gun.
Yeah.
Very lightweight. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind getting one of those instead of my 45 is a little bigger.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's the only downside. I have like a full sidearm Glock, so it's
it's
my
a little 45
big for conceal, and I have my conceal weapon. But
this
one's carry it.
It's small. It's like this big. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty small.
It's one of those like titty shooters or whatever they call it.
It's like this.
Yeah,
it's pretty small. Yeah. It's a little smaller than your gun. But it's not the size of the gun. It's how you use it, really.
Kind of pack a punch, eh?
Hey. Speaking of punches, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But speaking of punches, really, we're gonna fucking segue this into something way different.
Let's do it.
Let's get off this political topic of guns and defunding.
Yeah.
But you guys got a workout machine.
We did get a workout machine.
Which is pretty cool because I started working out this week. Finally, like, and it's not just I'm just gonna work out. I actually started like lifting like my dumbbells, and I started running. I haven't been able to run. I don't know if I ever talked about it, but like I tore my Achilles last Thanksgiving.
Just over a year ago.
Yeah. And so like now I'm starting to run, and I'm not running miles, bro. Yeah. I'm not. I run around a block. Literally up the street.
Dude, that's about what I would be able to do.
So I ran the other day. and it was a little icy out the other night, and I fucking bit it.
Yeah.
I fucking bit it hard. Like I don't know. I asked Alicia to like, well, I didn't ask her, but she like kind of rubbed my back a little behind my shoulder blade. And I was like, because it's been sore, and I don't know if it's because that's where I fell,
like a pulled muscle,
or if it's just because my muscles are sore from exercising, from lifting shit I haven't lifted in fucking who knows how long.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm actually trying to lose weight. I've been eating a little less than normal.
Yeah,
I'm not pigging out on the cookies and the little late night snacks like I like. Like when I play Ghost of Tsushima.
You stand instead of sit.
Sometimes I'm snacking.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that in a while.
That's good.
In a while, I mean like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
But no, you guys got your little workout gym, which you just showed me a minute ago.
There it is.
I gotta work out with you guys.
It's the PowerTech workbench system.
PowerTech 3000.
And it's a pretty nice unit. It does not use
solar operated. Get out of here.
Yeah, solar panel. It's off grid. It's completely self-reliant. It can store and retain water.
It uses counterweight.
Yeah. No, this is I don't like those machines that have all the pulleys and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Bowflex style.
Yeah, they just, nothing against those companies. I don't know that much about
resistance. I don't know if
it seems like the
same.
resistance, it is a different type of workout.
It's 100% a different workout.
It also,
I'm an expert. I've been working out a week.
I feel like they loosen up a lot, and they just don't stay as like.
Well,
So this is actually
something's tight for a while, then you use it a lot. It gets loose.
It gets loose.
I'm just kidding, ladies.
Itty bitty macaronis in a big old pot. So there's
I'm never going to use that one.
This uses like your regular weights, like your plate weights. And so
the steel style.
Yeah. And so we bought the extra plates with it, and we bought the how much poundage? It came with 2 45s.
Okay.
2 35s, 2 25s, 2 10s, 2 5s, and 2 2.5s, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
So I mean, a pretty decent array, and you could
later on you could probably upgrade.
We could add to it. But it's enough for now. I mean, I was benching with the 45s, and that's what I like about it. That has there's a lot you can do with it. So the bench, you can set it where it's not like a regular bench where if you get in trouble, you're stuck. You can either use a bar attachment, or you can do like the hand grips, and then it's like
you're not going to worry if you can't do the weight. It's going to fall on your fucking face.
If you get there and you can't get it up, you can just let it go and then stand up
and then take Viagra.
You're fine. Yeah, right. And try again another day. But it worked really well. I've got a little bit of a burn in my chest today.
Oh yeah.
I have not done any kind of exercise.
Bro, you and I both.
But it felt good, and Elliot was having a good old time. He was doing some benching with I think he put like the 2.5s on there.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. I mean,
he's in basketball now, man.
He's a basketball player, man.
He's got to lift weights.
I saw the video. I didn't make it. I was setting this whole thing up Wednesday night when he had his basketball practice, so I didn't make it to that.
How's he liking it?
He likes it again. He was really nervous because he didn't know the code.
I need to get JJ back in. I actually need to get him into some sport.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I think basketball is a good sport because it's competitive, but it doesn't start out super like aggressively competitive.
Yeah,
it's like at this age they're really just working on dribbling, shooting,
fundamentals,
running the ball, passing the ball, team sportsmanship. Stop, shoot. True. Yep. Step. You're like jump, shoot, that type of deal.
Or now the way the NBA is like step, and then let go of the ball.
And then
it's called a travel.
Keep going. Yeah, no, that doesn't exist anymore, by the way.
Yeah.
In official rules, it's gone. I don't get that, but
it's stupid. No, I mean the traveling's like not traveling is retarded. You don't need to travel, but
no, but they do.
The rule.
There's
Dude, it's terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, I got to see a video of him though, and he like made this dope shot, and he looked really cool doing it. And
cool.
I was just like, awesome.
Well, dude, he's huge. He's going to be a big kid,
if
man.
he tries and if he learns, like, just tell him, like, I didn't know the rules as a kid growing up. I didn't like sports. I didn't play sports.
He can play with his Uncle Jesse. How about that one?
Well, yeah. And, like, I've learned a lot now, but I probably couldn't play it. But, like, I at least know what you're supposed to do now. As a kid, I had no idea. So I told him, buddy, like,
thumbs down.
When you punch, I know that one.
No, that's what they used to teach me when I'd pass you.
Yeah,
pass and your thumbs go down.
Go down.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Oh, with basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yep. And I knew like the position. My dad was a basketball player in high school, and they did really well. Like I think they went to the state or something. Like,
that's cool.
They did a really.
I love basketball.
They were a great team. So like he always liked it, and I would love to shoot hoops with him and stuff. But I wasn't a competitive kid. Yeah. I didn't want to play on a team, and I had a very negative experience with soccer when I started in 4th grade. 4th grade's a little late to start a sport.
No, it's not. Dude, I like a lot of the sports I started, I was I've always been into sports, but I never played competitive sports until God, I want to say probably high school, really.
Yes. Okay, asshole. Well, that's called being athletic.
But no, sports is something I've always enjoyed. It's just competitively, I never did it. Really, you know, like. See,
and I didn't even enjoy them. So I literally until college, I didn't even understand that your goal in football was to run the ball 10 yards. I didn't even get that your short-term goal is to get it right, a first down. I was just like, you're trying to get a touchdown every time. And because I never really watched it.
I'm like, well, kind of. You're still trying to get that.
If you get the touchdown, that's great. But you're really, what you're after is like the 10 yards. If you can get that, great. And then you keep the ball moving. I didn't get that. Now I do. No big deal. But I told them, I'm like, I just want you to understand them. I don't want you to have that feeling. Because if you're a guy and you're a teenager and you don't know sports, it can be a little awkward sometimes. So I want to teach him. I'm
like, I don't know. But I can see that. I don't know how it is now, though. That's what I mean.
I don't know either. It may not matter anymore.
We're in a different age.
We are.
You know what I'm saying? Like before it was like.
He loves video games so much. He's going to be like the jock in the school.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I was like, before it was like you had these jocks, but now it's like there's you.
Is it the gamer nerds that are going to be the coolest? Like,
I don't know. Like I've said before, I was always really cool with all the like kids. Like I was always. I never really had like a set of people that I was just like I could hang with jocks. Like for me, it's like my high school was interesting. We definitely were
had
very diverse
groups. I definitely had my friend group, but I never felt like I couldn't talk to anybody.
That's how I was.
And I had gone to elementary school with a lot of the guys that were like jocks or whatever. So like I knew them. We didn't really hang out, but it wasn't like
I know that motherfucker.
Yeah, they maybe didn't. I don't even know. But it's like it's not one of the, like
that
everybody
6'5" guy?
was.
Yeah, I tried to get him to play sport, but he don't play.
He's 6'5", but he's no good. We don't want his ass on that. One time I was in PE and I hated it so much. I just got to the point that nobody passed it to me, and so I just would run up and down the side. Well, one day some fucker passed it to me. I ran right past the fucking ball, and it went like it just went out, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And everyone's like, "Damn it!"
Makes you feel like
it's fucking PE. Nobody cares.
It is what it is.
I
don't know. I think nervous. Now it's different. I don't think there's those clicky. Well,
no, it wasn't even clicky. That's what I'm saying though. Is like even though there were kind of like. I mean, you had the cliques, but people weren't really like that at my high school.
Well, I feel like that's how it was at my high school.
Yeah, I mean, it's like nobody was really mean to each other. Well, no, weren't like.
That's what I want to know, though.
Yeah,
is it because of how you were or how I was? Like
that we didn't experience it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Like you and I, like so when I first moved to Washington, obviously, like I said, like I got picked on and stuff because I was like Hispanic.
And you were like middle school age.
Yeah, I was middle school, 7th grade.
It was worst.
It was different, obviously, but like. Was it like 8th grade? When I went to 8th grade and then all through high school, like the school was very diverse for one, but like no one really picked on me. It's not like I was a big guy or anything, but like, I was able to hang with the jocks and talk to them. But I don't know if that just has to do with our personality because you and I are I think we're very personable in the fact that we can talk to pretty much anyone.
I was a lot more nervous back then. So I don't think I talked as much to them, but I never felt like anybody was mean to me.
Well, yeah,
like,
that's I get what you're saying.
I wasn't outcast by anybody. I think
like
I would have talked. And
I was how I am now, where I'm just quiet.
Yeah.
But if someone talks to me, I'll talk to them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, whatever.
One of the earliest shocks I ever got in my life, there was a girl, she was a year old ahead of me in school, and she was like just super nice, very pretty girl, and very like just popular looking.
Yeah.
And I would always walk to school back then, and she had a car. So she would always try to get me to take a ride. I was always like, nah. And, you know, for all I know, she could have thought I was cute or something. I had no fucking clue.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah. Like, no, I'm good. I like to walk. And like, you're an idiot.
Yes, I like to walk. Thanks,
yeah, I'm out.
Like,
what a loser.
I mean, now I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You should have taken the fucking ride. But anyway,
I don't know.
At the time, I mean, who knows? But I was just like, yeah, no, I like to walk. And so she always thought it was like funny. I think it was just like one of those things. Like, she's like, oh, this is a kid that won't take a ride kind of thing. But she was very nice. And I really just liked her as a person. And she graduated, and a month later she fell downstairs and passed away.
Jesus.
I'm not kidding.
I didn't see that story going this way.
No, I know. I mean, it was the first time in my life
on that note, I had hug your loved ones.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was a learning moment for me.
That's crazy.
And I didn't always keep that lesson in my heart.
Well, you don't always think about it.
You know, it's like when someone's nice to you like that, or like you kind of have that, I don't know, I didn't have a crush on her or anything, but like when you have
I get
this is experience. Like I was this younger kid, and she didn't have to be nice, and didn't.
But she
have to. But she just would talk to me, and would
that could have been just who she was.
And I think it probably was. And then they're gone. Like, and we never talked after school. Like she graduated, and I never saw her again. But to find out that she was just gone, it was just like that's such a weird feeling.
It was crazy. This kid I went to high school with, that's kind of what happened with him. Like I knew him, and he was a very funny guy, and he was like kind of popular, right? Mm-hmm. But you know, like we ran track together, and like I played football with him. Mm-hmm. He's a very cool guy. But then he ended up perishing like in a house fire. Smoke alarms weren't working.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to say it was like a year or so after high school, found out that he passed away. It was like, that's crazy.
Shocking. I mean, when you're young and you think your whole life's ahead of you, and this girl I knew, I mean, no illnesses, nothing. She wasn't drinking, nothing like that. The story I heard was that she was at a sleepover, basically. Like she and some girls were like hanging out, and she had to work in the morning. They weren't drinking or anything. They had a spiral staircase in this house. And somehow she lost her balance, and it just wasn't good.
So, note to self, kids, you're not doing sleepovers.
Just be really careful on spiral staircases, and they are bad. And make sure you have batteries in your smoke alarm. Well, that's the thing. And I think it was early and dark.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I mean, even with something like that, you'd hear that and assume the person might be hurt, but
to pass away,
gone.
That's something you see in the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
When they they fall downstairs. Because anytime I've ever seen a movie, someone falls down the stairs, it's lights out.
Yeah, right.
When I was a little, and I have no idea about this. I don't remember this at all. Mm-hmm. But when I was a little kid, apparently we lived in this apartment. This was when it was just me and my mom. And this is prior to her electrocuting me.
That's not funny. I just am blown away every time.
I know. So I fell down this flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Concrete stairs.
How old do you think you were at that time?
Oh, like 3.
Wow.
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
Like I was young. Like it was before my brother and sister, and before my stepdad, like my brother and sister's dad. Apparently though, my mom said I fell down from the top.
All the way down.
All the way down.
Concrete stairs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently I was fine though. Hard noggin apparently. But like it just makes you think like grown ass person.
What if?
Yeah. I wouldn't know.
All right.
I wouldn't be.
How much would be different if that had gone?
I might be born as a cockroach. I don't know.
Reincarnation.
JJ says he wants to come back as a diamond. That's what he told me.
Well, that's it. You're a diamond for the rest of eternity. So
that's what he said. I'm a diamond.
Sure. What was his reasoning?
I don't know. JJ's.
I want to be on a pretty
I love that kid. Obviously, he's my son.
Yeah.
So. Kind of got to. No. Did we ever give a shout out to MLK?
Not yet. We didn't.
Huh?
Speaking of police brutality, let's
bring up Martin Luther King.
No, I do want to say, my feelings about policing and stuff aside, like whatever. Please don't take that against me. But
he didn't get killed by police, though.
Martin Luther King,
right?
He was assassinated. No, he wasn't.
I know. That's why I said he wasn't killed by police.
Oh, he wasn't. No.
That's what I mean. I'm like, wait. Please tell me.
If you want to talk about police brutality, there are police that do bad things, of course.
Oh,
and
100%.
I do not support those people. I believe that they do deserve to be prosecuted.
I think it goes both ways. Good and bad.
Think right. I mean, that's the thing. I do not stand up for all police. The ones that are corrupt and do bad things and will do things to people because of the color of their skin, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, fuck them.
I'm just about let's have decency and respect to everybody across the board.
Hey, Martin Luther King, man, that's what he preached,
Martin Luther King Jr., that's the beauty of him and who he was and what his memory brings.
But what did he say? Like, content of your character.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Judged by the content of your character and not the color of your skin. And
I think that still holds true to this day.
We just need to remember that more and more as time goes on. I think less and less civility is occurring in our world.
Yeah.
And I don't know. People are hardlining in very interesting ways, and it's not doing anything good. I think Martin Luther King would be a little sad today about where
I do, because I think there's people who are, I don't know, there's not the open-mindedness of a lot of people.
With almost anybody. I mean,
it's either you're, like you just said, you're hard here, this is it.
Yep. And
there's no way seeing other way.
There's no room for you to exist in this space. Like if you don't agree with what I agree with.
But I think his whole thing is like, let's hear everyone's.
Right.
Like, well, how are you as a person?
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, things were very overt back then. And there's some overt things now. But there's a lot of, covert racism now. And I forget all the sociology terms or whatever for them. But there's a lot of things that happen more in the dark.
Yeah, for sure.
Those things need to be rooted out and changed. But it's just sad. I think we've made so much progress as a country. And then in some ways, we've lost so much.
Yeah, we take 2 steps forward, 4 steps back, 2 steps forward.
And this is the weekend to just kind of take a few moments and reflect on
where we are.
Hopefully how far we've, come. I think we made some progress. But I don't know. Let's take stock in who we are as a country and who we want to be and who we love and why we love them and what Martin Luther King Jr. asked for and the beautiful speech that he gave and make every word ring true at some point.
That's a pretty good speech.
It was a pretty damn good speech.
It was a pretty good speech, dude.
And
not gonna lie, like when you hear it, it's like, it kind of gives you
hard to go against that logic. And,
and that's I think that's the thing. It's really hard to because it's like it's kind of true. It's like I don't give a fuck what color skin you are or how are you as like an individual,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right. The character. Your character.
How are you? What's your integrity? Right. And I think that's something I try to teach the kids is have that integrity. Yep. Like, are you going to act this way always?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to always be this good person? Or are you going to just do this in front of people?
Right.
Just because.
Well, to do the right thing because it's the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
To treat people a certain way because they're people and they deserve to be treated the right way. Yeah. Right. And I think, I don't know, just we were talking last week about sociopaths. I just feel like society's turning very sociopathic. Like everyone is really worried about
we could take
themselves.
An online test to find out.
We could. We could. Just don't ask any questions.
I need to retake that test again. But
yeah.
I kind of retook it, so my score was a lot lower.
Okay.
Not a lot lower, but I'm still considered a sociopath.
I'll coach you. We'll get through it.
What's crazy is I can take that test and pass it if I wanted.
Yeah.
So does that make me a sociopath?
Yes. I mean, if you did it, it would. If you did it knowing that you really didn't think that way, but you did it to manipulate people, then yes.
So I did it because I wanted the high score, right?
Yeah. That's different.
And so I could actually do it to manipulate someone if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And be like, no, man, I got a fucking 12.
Well, it's like
I'm
when you're
such
in
a
high
good
school
person.
And they give you that, what would you be good at test? And you want to be something smart. So they're like, do you like space?
So
I love space.
I tried to go into the military.
Yeah.
At one point. And so I took the ASVAB, I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And Idiot.
Did it go well?
I was working in a warehouse.
Really?
Yeah. Here I'm in IT, but yeah, I was
better than a grunt, right?
I was going to be in the. No, I would have been a field guy, but like I would have been like working where. Here we go. We're going to put the bolts on your truck. Such a. But I don't know. It could have been how I took it.
I didn't do great on the SATs, so I don't think I
never took them.
No, I did. It was
I actually
pitiful score. I don't even remember what the score was. It just wasn't very good.
I think I'm a lot smarter than I put on, obviously. Because you surprise yourself. Obviously, I surprised myself when I went back to college and with everything else. So I don't know. I think at the time, obviously, I wasn't ready for any of that shit. Fuck it.
And that's the thing is like I had a lot of anxiety when I was younger. Still have some of it.
Dude, that's how I was with tests.
So
test anxiety is real. That's
so
real.
Nervous for. Unless Daniel Tosh, if you believe what he said, there's no bad test takers. You just don't know what you just
yeah, there you go.
I remember when he said you're just an idiot or something. That was funny. But
I do think there's
no, but there is. I used to be when I took the teacher test to get my, you do all the schoolwork, and then at the end of it, you take a test, and if you don't pass it, you don't get certified.
Yeah.
So it was all for nothing. So there's quite a bit of stakes in this test. I was so nervous for this damn thing, and I had test anxiety anyway. There was a surface area question. Easy as can be, right? It's like the math you do to paint a room.
Okay.
For the life of me, could not figure it out. None of the math I would do would match the answer choices.
Well, who does math?
And I got of all the math, that's the stuff I can do.
Well, yeah.
Because it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I could not for the life of me figure it out. I chose an answer and went on and thought, if you get calmed down, just go back. I did the next question. I talked myself through it, and I went back and I laughed. I'm like, dude, you're doing like volume. I was doing length times width times height. I wasn't doing
just the square.
Yes, I wasn't doing the square footage.
Length times height or whatever.
Yeah, length times height, and then adding them all up. And when I realized that, it's like this wave of calm came over me, and I'm like, okay, just turn your fucking brain on, stop worrying about it, and do it. I passed the fucking test. Nothing felt better than when I walked up to the counter and Letty goes, well, you passed, because I'm thinking I'm going to have to take this fucker again.
Fuck.
And it was everything. Like, you had to do music, you had to do PE, it was like this general test for everything you might have to teach, and they could ask you anything about any of the subjects. Yeah. It was a little intense.
Yeah, I had to take a test for, like, I got my A+ certification.
Okay,
and stuff like that. I had to take a test for that, which I passed, which was surprised, because it's like, if you don't, like, before I took this test, I had until the end of this, like, it was like December.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to be recertified ever again, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they changed it, so after January 1st, you have to take the recertify every 4 years, every 5 years.
Of course. Yeah.
So I was like, well, let me take this before, so I don't have to fucking recertify.
Yeah.
And somehow I fucking passed that shit.
So you don't ever have to do it again?
No. One time. I took, like, I had people that took that test, and they took them 2-3 times to pass this test.
You know what pisses me off about this whole
this
recertify shit? So a company makes the test. They get paid. You have to pay every time you take the test.
And you're paying $200-$300.
This is the thing. It's bullshit. If you get a job and you can do your job, that should be good enough. The test that you have to pay for out of your pocket is a bunch of shit.
Yeah. And sometimes some works will pay, but I was in school, so the school paid for it. So
it just makes me upset that that's like, and we think that's necessary. Like, you're not good enough at your job that you can keep it and keep working.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I mean, what is the actual point of these tests?
There's no point.
Just to make you jump through a damn hoop.
That's what it is.
But the funny thing is, the second they don't have people for the job and nobody wants the job, they stop making you take it. So there's no reason for it. It's a marketing thing. If they have too many people in the field, they try to weed them out.
You know what?
These stupid tests.
You come to work sick now.
Yeah. That's a whole other fucking thing.
I'm just saying.
Let's end on COVID. Fuck COVID.
And you know what? I was going to end on the fact that we talked about this. It's weird. It would be weird if me and him switched sides.
I know.
Right? And then it made me think, the side of the bed.
Yeah.
How weird would it be to sleep on the other side of the bed?
Too weird.
Alicia threw that out the other day. Like,
should we
maybe
switch?
You should sleep over here. I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah,
like, that ain't happening. This is my side of the bed, woman. Right. I own this side.
Well,
I spray painted my name right here.
You know, call me old school, call me an asshole. I like the fact that I'm between the door and Blanca.
Yeah.
Not that I could do a whole lot.
I'm closest to the door.
But
where's your gun and shit? To be honest, where's your...
in a safe. I know.
I sleep with mine under my pillow.
Do you?
No. I was going to say. It's in my sock drawer.
Yeah. Mine is as far away from me as it could possibly be.
Mine's like I have to go towards the door, open my sock drawer, and dig around.
In a safe, like, you know.
I don't even have mine in the safe, but
you do because it's Washington law. So
I do. I do have one in a safe.
In a safe place.
In my sock drawer.
Yeah.
In the safe.
They actually do make those, so I don't doubt it.
It's actually a fingerprint and a dial.
Perfect. There's no way kids can crack that shit. Yeah, but mine is like, it would be...
Good luck opening my fucking drawer, for one.
I would be like, okay, hold on, let me get the key, and then I walk over here because I hide the key, so it's not easy to find. And then I'd have to go get into the safe and then get the gun and then load it because I don't want to keep it loaded.
So I keep mine... I don't keep it loaded, but the clip's in there.
Okay.
I keep it clipped.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know
if that's against the law or not, but that's how it's a little easier.
Who knows in Washington State anymore.
I do sleep with a machete on the side of my bed.
So. Yeah. I have a very large dildo next to I don't really, but
motherfucker.
Could you imagine it flip flopping around there?
You got sued because you fucking injured the guy with a fucking dildo. He hit me with a 16-pound dildo.
Out of nowhere, he's got a neck brace on and an arm in a sling.
Print of a dildo on his face.
What else, pussy?
Macaroni and pot this bitch.
Oh my god,
that'd be funny. On that note,
hey man,
it's been nice to do it Friday.
It's been
a little
really
longer.
Nice.
This was one of our longer ones.
An hour 50 minutes, and it felt fast this time.
It did.
I hope you out there.
I think it started a little slow, but it came out fast.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
You guys better.
Shout out again to Mike. Mike just hollered me down at work and said,
cool. I love you, Mike. I don't even know you, Mike, but I love you, bro.
And he was busy too. He told me he'd had his kids doing. I asked him if he wanted to be on, and unfortunately, he had a bunch of stuff going on tonight.
Bring your kids over. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, they have basketball and
bring them. I'll play them in a basketball and beat them all.
And I'll give them guitar lessons and my shitty skills.
Dude, anyway. I'm not a terrible basketball player, but I ain't like a pro or anything.
Yeah.
I hold my own.
Yeah, you wouldn't want me to teach your kids guitar, but
dude, I don't know guitar.
What's that?
I said I don't know guitar.
Oh, you might surprise yourself.
Oh no, I've surprised myself. All right, I surprised myself that I didn't know guitar as good as I thought. I've listened to guitar my whole life.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to practice. Just listen. All right, everybody. Well, it's another week.
I was going to play Jingle Bells.
We could.
That's not the outro music.
The music we're going to play the week that we didn't have the music.
I know that we fucked up. That's so funny.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you guys have a good week. Love you.
Yeah.
Peace and subscribe, as they say.
Yeah.
Spread it out. And just,
And if you just listen, keep listening. Thank you very much.
And give us ideas.
Yeah.
At justwewerblooded.com. Our